In the heart of New York City's Manhattan, a shroud of darkness enveloped the metropolis, casting a gloomy pall over the iconic urban landscape. It was in this somber setting that a profound announcement resounded through the city's bustling streets. The system, a mysterious entity, proclaimed a new and daunting mission for humanity: the prevention of a cataclysmic demolition. Their survival hinged on their ability to face the ultimate threat, Behemoth, a name synonymous with fear, a monstrous giant that emerged from the city's very skyline. Behemoth was unlike any creature known to humanity. With its single colossal leg, it possessed the terrifying power to unleash instant earthquakes that sent tremors of dread through every living being. It stood as the ultimate class of monster, the last adversary that humanity, on the brink of extinction, had to confront. As the world teetered on the precipice of annihilation, the system reappeared, a harbinger of hope and despair, ordering all remaining players to unite and conquer Behemoth before the world met its tragic end. A deafening roar, filled with rage and anguish, emanated from the colossal monstrosity, inflicting torment upon all who heard it. Amidst the chaos, a solitary figure stepped forward, his voice cutting through the tumult. He urged the remaining survivors to maintain formation, for failure was not an option. The battle for survival, which had initially begun in 2020 as a global competition, had now transcended borders, evolving into a desperate struggle for existence against interdimensional creatures, a fight that unfolded in the very fabric of space itself. Representatives of Earth, the humans, found themselves continually on the losing end of this cosmic skirmish. In the year 2023, a mere 10 countries remained, their very existence hanging by a thread. The imminent threat of Earth's obliteration loomed ominously on the horizon, as Behemoth continued to rain down devastating energy beams from its cavernous maw, resulting in cataclysmic explosions that reverberated across the city. However, a glimmer of hope materialized in that dark hour. A seemingly unassuming man, dressed in the attire of an ordinary worker, descended from the heavens. Brimming with unshakable confidence, he confronted Behemoth head-on. In a single, awe-inspiring strike, the mighty Behemoth was toppled, sending shockwaves through the remaining survivors. It was a sight that defied belief. A lone human had felled the indomitable Behemoth with a single blow. A colossal system notification flashed before their eyes, declaring that the United States had triumphed in accomplishing its mission. Among the players who beheld this remarkable feat, astonishment prevailed. Speculations arose, questioning whether this extraordinary power was akin to that of a martial saint. However, the enigmatic hero, known as Saint Sung JiHan, remained reticent, responding with actions rather than words. The man, whose true identity was none other than Baron William, gazed towards the sky, where a voice praised his triumphant deed from a lofty vantage point. But William's elation was not rooted in personal glory. Rather, it was the exultation of his beloved nation, America, securing victory once more in the ongoing battle. As the echoes of celebration filled the air, a young woman from their group descended from a precipitous mountain, heading towards JiHan. Her approach prompted one of the members to intervene, but Baron William, displaying an unwavering trust in her abilities, advised that she be allowed to proceed unhindered. In that moment, William was a man not merely content with personal accomplishment but one overjoyed by the victory of his homeland, as well as the recognition of his compatriots and his cherished JiHan, the hero who had emerged from obscurity. He openly acknowledged the formidable strength of the monster, as its mere residual energy emanating from its lifeless form had the power to render most players unconscious. He speculated that the creature must have been even more formidable when it was alive. However, it remained an impossibility to stand unscathed in the monster's presence. Even though he had managed to defeat the monster, the cost was the loss of Saint Sung JiHan's left arm. The young woman who had just arrived on the scene bore the name Sophia, and she exhibited deep concern for January. In her apprehension, Sophia attempted to employ her regeneration skill to aid Jan in regrowing his lost arm. She implored JiHan to exercise patience as the process would be agonizing. Jan, who had just vanquished the malevolent energy emanating from the Behemoth, exhibited a glimmer of satisfaction in his eyes when he regained consciousness. This was because he had received the prize chest for successfully completing this mission. Nevertheless, the individuals atop the building urgently called out for their leader, Master Baron, as they had discovered a valuable reward at the monster's remains after its defeat. Master Baron promptly instructed Sophia and JiHan to depart, indicating his intention to handle the prize personally. This decision agitated the other players, who interpreted it as an attempt by Master Baron to claim the monster's defeat as his own. However, in such a situation, there seemed to be little they could do to alter the circumstances. In a time when humanity's very existence teetered on the precipice of annihilation, a looming threat cast a long shadow over the world. The last beacon of hope came in the form of the enigmatic American First Guild, led by their formidable guild master, Baron. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Baron convened a gathering of the guild's members, and within that assembly, he revealed a transformative decree. Henceforth, he proclaimed, the reward for vanquishing the menacing monstrosities that plagued their world would bear the name of the guild member who demonstrated the valor to slay these formidable adversaries. It was a testament to their commitment to acknowledging the valor of those who stood as the final line of defense against the encroaching darkness. It was in this defining moment that Sophia, a tenacious member of the guild, boldly confronted the guild master. Her eyes ablaze with fervor, she inquired about a conspicuous omission. Why had Jan not received recognition for his extraordinary contributions? The middle-aged guild master met Sophia's passionate inquiry with a stern, dispassionate response. Jan, he explained, was not considered an American by the strictest definition. Despite undergoing naturalization, he remained distinct from a native-born American. In the master's eyes, Jan was a valuable asset but was still perceived as an outsider, a distinction that dimmed his recognition. Sophia's futile attempts to sway the master in Jan's favor were swiftly quelled by the young man himself. Jan had reached a point in his journey where he no longer sought validation or material rewards. Deep within, he grudgingly acknowledged the master's assertion. He was a refugee who had escaped his homeland's tragic fall. Jan had attained the esteemed Triple S skill rank and risen to the 7th place in global rankings, despite facing unrelenting discrimination and prejudice. However, more painful than the discrimination was the gnawing feeling of solitude, the knowledge that he was the sole surviving Korean in this bleak post-apocalyptic era. Sitting on the rooftop of a derelict car, Jan pondered the weight of his solitary survival, a Korean island in a sea of chaos. Though his heart was heavy, he forced himself to shift his focus back to his recovery, especially his injured arm. His hopes hinged on receiving the outcome of his mission. Suddenly, the system's ethereal presence materialized, signaling the end of the virtual ordeal. In the wake of this proclamation, the system unveiled the outcomes of the Bronze League demotion mission, a pivotal challenge categorized under defense. The sole criterion for success: more than half of the players had to survive. Only 2 nations had emerged victorious from this grueling test: the United States and China. The rest, including formidable nations like Russia and Japan, had faltered. The system's repeated mention of these failures sent waves of apprehension through the other players, who had come to comprehend the gravity of the situation. The demotion mission's failure was nothing short of a catastrophic blow to humanity's very survival, a grim omen that heralded its impending downfall. In an even more alarming revelation, the system broadcasted news that the demotion prevention in Zone 4212 had been lost, as another player had failed to protect it. It meant that they were now destined to face Orc number 4773 in a climactic, make-or-break battle. Panic swept through the ranks as the realization dawned that they would soon be locked in an intense struggle against the merciless Orc horde. Sophia, undeterred by the impending calamity, persisted in her attempt to reason with the guild master, her voice a beacon of hope in the midst of impending chaos. In a world besieged by the formidable Orcs, the need for Jam became a pivotal factor. Their ultimate victory in the climactic battle against the Orcs could be attributed to the heroism of a figure known as JiHan. However, the Peach Master, an influential and authoritative character, declared that they would depart, leaving JiHan behind.